Very much for coming and spending the day with us. We wanted to save this talk as kind of a special last talk. Lab 126 is this kind of the special mythical place to Amazonians, and it's kind of where all of this hardware magic happens behind the scenes, but we don't really get to know too much about that because it's, well, where all that magic, mystical hardware stuff happens behind the scenes. And we're fortunate enough to have DeNamur out here with us today, who's going to give us a sneak peek, kind of beside some of the workings of Lab 126. Well, at least you'll hear more than I usually hear from Chris. Now, Manager of Engineering at Lab 126, DeNamur, thank you very much.
Cool. Thanks, Mike. As Mike said, I'm Chris. I'm from Lab 126. I'm going to talk a little bit today about what we do there and what we're doing for our customers, and more importantly, what we're doing for our developers here as well. Since this is a developer conference after all, this is probably what you guys want to hear about. Okay, so I'll talk a little bit about the history. I'll talk a little bit about what we're doing today, and then I'll talk a little bit about some specific tools that we're working on for developers that are available for you guys to use. Wait for the fancy animations. So, what is Lab 126? Well, Lab 126 is a beautiful campus in sunny California. What more do you need to know than that, right? Okay, but of course it's much more than that, right? You know, it's a site of Amazon, as Mike said, where we're working hard to build great products for our customers. You know, we spoke a lot today about how we're a very customer-centric company, and Lab 126 definitely embodies that in how we build our devices. So one of the key components of Lab 126 is we're research and development for our consumer devices. One of the things we pride ourselves on there is that we work with hardware and software directly and make that work as a one solution for you guys. So we cover a wide range of products from tablets, TV, Echo, and e-readers. We, of course, started with e-readers and have developed into many more product categories since then. Okay, so what history of Lab 126. So, Lab 126 started with a simple principle. How can we improve on the physical book? Books have been around for a while, so that was a pretty tall order, but they came up with the Kindle e-reader. It was very popular right away. You know, it was a small team of people working on that product way back then, and it grew into all that we have today, all of our devices, from Fire TV to Echo and other things. So this is a quote I really like about the first e-reader. You know, it was a new product category at the time. No one really knew what to expect, and it sold out in 5.5 hours. That was, you know, back when people didn't really know what was happening with this category. So to have it come out so quickly was really cool. So what are we working on today? So we haven't stopped creating new things, right? As a very customer-focused company, we want to fill the needs of our customers, but also give our developers great opportunities to create new apps, right? The more great products we have, the more customers that use them, the more opportunities there are for you guys to write apps to reach your customers that way. Okay, so what are we doing for developers? So I will talk about some of the tools that we're creating at Lab 126 to make your guys' life easier. I've already talked a lot about the Fire App Builder. You guys have probably heard me talk up here about this earlier today. Some of you attended the workshop downstairs with Luca. We're excited to launch that. And we also have the Web App Starter Kit. I did a comparison there about, you know, some things the Web App Starter Kit is great for and other things that the Fire App Builder is great for. So those are both good solutions for building apps for Fire TV. We have another tool I'm going to talk about a little bit today called the Network Monitor. That helps you monitor your network on Fire TV and have your customers have a good experience using their streaming media player. I'm also going to talk a little bit about System X-Ray. So as we build more and more demanding apps, what resources those are using on Fire TV is very important to be able to analyze real time. Okay, so first up, Network Monitor. So on a streaming TV box like Fire TV, your network connection is very important. It's more important than a lot of other devices you deal with, right? Your phone, your tablet, network connection is important, but on a streaming set-top box, you're not doing much with it if your network connection isn't working well. So this is a tool to improve the customer experience, right? A lot of times, some customers might know what goes wrong when they get no video found or no network connection on their device, but others might not. So this is a tool to help customers be able to figure that out. So if your app is experiencing a network issue, if you decide you can't load a video or you can't access some content that you're looking for, you can send this intent connectivity check, and that does some magic behind the scenes. It figures out if you're, first of all, connected to a network. If you are, great. It'll go, if you're connected to a local network, such as like your Wi-Fi, but your router might be down, it'll offer suggestions for that. It'll identify the fact that you're connected to your Wi-Fi, but it can't ping services outside of that and help give you an actual dialogue to show you that. This is an example of that where you're connected to the internet and no issues are found in this case, but if you couldn't get outside of that, it would show you that as well. If you aren't connected to any network at all, it'll show you a different dialogue and ask you to connect to a network. Maybe your Wi-Fi password changed, maybe you have a Fire TV stick, you took it to a hotel and you need to log in. It'll give you those options as well. Okay, great. Next tool I'm going to talk about is System X-Ray. So System X-Ray is a tool to help you analyze the performance of your app on Fire TV. It can show you how your display is doing, your network connectivity, things like that to help you analyze the usage. This is an overlay that shows on top of the TV so you can analyze it real time. There's a lot of other tools that will help you do this offline or plugging in a debugger, maybe using Android Studio. Those are great tools as well, but this will show you in real time in your app. You don't need to hook anything up or be a developer to use it. So this bar across the top is what it looks like. This would be overlaid on the top of your Fire TV screen. So you can debug your app in real time. It shows a couple different areas here, HDMI and HDCP. Sometimes different apps might not be displaying properly. Maybe you're in 720p mode for some reason. Maybe you're writing a 4K app and you can't see that. That could be an HDCP issue. So over here on the left, it shows you your display resolution, refresh rate, and HDCP version. So as you move around and test with different TVs, test with different devices, you can identify problems that way. A lot of people have found problems this way, and you can get to it much more quickly by just popping up this overlay and not having to look at some logs and see what type of display you're connected to. Another is CPU. As we talked about, Fire TV and Fire TV Stick are very different devices. Apps run differently on them. So analyzing your CPU usage is very important. These 4 bars in the middle show you real-time CPU usage, so you can see if your app is running slow. Could be a GPU issue, could be a CPU issue. This can give you some real-time feedback on which direction to go there. You can also analyze your memory. That's the next block. Shows you your available memory in use by your app and in use by the rest of the system. So you can tell if maybe you're experiencing some delays or some garbage collection in your app. Could be because of your app, could be because of some other services kicking off in the background. This will help you figure that out while you're using your app real time on the TV. The next thing is network. It shows you your download speed, signal strength, and other things like that. This is useful in the Fire App Builder. We use this to figure out which of the multi-bit rate streaming sources we are choosing at the time, right? So if you connect to an HLS stream or a smooth streaming stream, you can tell, oh, I'm at 3 megabits a second. That's the stream I'm connecting to from my CDN at the moment. So this is very useful. Okay, and this is a slide about how you activate System X-Ray. So you don't need to do anything special on your box. You don't need to install anything. You just need to go through these key sequences on your remote or gamepad, and you'll be ready to go. Cool. Okay, so I don't know if I completely demystified Lab126 as Mike requested here, but this is a little bit about our history, kind of where we came from, where we're going, and what products we're working on, not only for our customers, but for you guys, our developers, so that we can, build great products together.
Chris, do you have any time to take Q&A?
Yeah, you can do that. Right? Yeah.
So, Chris, System X-Ray looks pretty cool. Do we have any tools like that available or in the works for development on our tablet devices?
They're looking at the future for System X-Ray on tablets. It's not there now, but yeah, that's a possibility.
Okay. What have been some of the most requested tools? I'm guessing that 2 of the most requested ones are System X-Ray and some of the other network monitoring tools. What other ones have been requested a lot?
Video debugging is something that we've added to System X-Ray, so you can tell which codec is being used. That's an interesting
Okay,
feature.
that's pretty cool. Is most of the debugging requests you get for Fire TV, or do you also get requests for help with the different tablet devices?
I think it's across the board, yep.
Okay. Anyone have any questions for Chris? Yes. Oh, I say 126, but that's because I'm from Seattle. If you're actually from the Bay Area and you work there, you say Lab 126.
Yeah, so the history of Lab 126, or the history of the name is that it's similar to the Amazon logo with the arrow showing from A to Z, showing that we cover the full alphabet. So that's the letters of the alphabet going from A, the first letter, to 26, the last letter of the alphabet.
And don't think this means we have any gaps in our product offerings in Cyrillic-based countries. So really, we're good. We're DBCS compatible as far as product selection goes, just to be sure about that. All right. Any other questions for Chris? Chris, thank you very much.